Hey Jay, how many Pittsburgh Steelers fans does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know, Mental. How many?
None. They won't change it. They're just going to talk about how great the last 6 were. All right, so we are back from Pitt Race, specifically the 2021 Pit Maneuver at Pittsburgh International Race Complex, or if you like to annoy Eric, Pitt's Race. So, but terrible, the weather. It's 40 degrees, sleeting, raining. That's not why I moved to the desert.
Hella sweet. We did not have any Crown Vics at this race, but we had two Mercury Marquis, and I can just picture somewhere in 2 different bingo parlors outside Big Beaver, Pennsylvania, people are going like, "Where's Enid? Like, I haven't seen Enid in like 4 months. What's going on?" But terrible, sometimes hella sweet. In this case, but terrible, college kids. We had another group of engineering students, this time I think from the Cleveland School of Engineering. I might be wrong about that, but in any case, their assignment was build a Lemons car that would pass tech. For the liberal arts majors, we even have a PDF that just says, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, do this.
Reading is hard.
It took them all weekend to get a legal cage, more or less, and then they finally went out to race, and the car was terrible. And then the second college team was a bunch of electrical engineers. They brought one of the Marquis, so okay, good for them. Electrical issues all weekend long.
Hella sweet, Cordoba.
Oh man, the Cordoba's back!
Boring BMW. Wait! Cordoba.
Hella sweet, the Eldorado is back, and it finished. And hella sweet, I gotta tell you, Mental won't tell you this because he's on 3 Pedal Mafia. 3 Pedal Mafia brought Kim Harmon a special badge and special business cards with the title that she is desperate for that I won't let her have. I'm horrible.
But you know it's an accurate title. Also hella sweet in the realms of bribes and, honestly, punishment. It was Judge Curtis's birthday and he got a song. Happy birthday to you. And a card, and a skirt, and even a cake. In fact, the entire bribe game was pretty strong all weekend.
Comrades, we have the finest Pontiac Aztec cooler.
Finally, you know what's really hella sweet? Whitney Houston.
I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
After years and years and years of trying, the Boston Whiners finally won this race. Usually we don't talk about this sort of thing. Usually we don't care who wins, but these guys really earned it.
And also B-Class came down to the last lap on Sunday when the squatting dogs in tracksuits ran out of gas. And that enabled the Schumacher Taxi Service, another longtime veteran, to take their My Little Pony Mustang, the B-Class win, literally on the last lap.
And C-Class, as long as we're talking about it, this was a newer team, but due to studious research and HPDs and stuff like that, they won with their Isuzu Hombre. The Garage Heroes in Training pulled it off.
Well, you know, they're podcasters, and you can't always necessarily trust their motivations. And that brings us to the awards that really matter.
The regional award was the Suez Canal Jokes Are Still Funny Award. And they kind of are. So, Honda Odyssey, these guys used to be Mr. Rogers' Trolley, but they wanted to be a little more topical, so they became the Horrible Giant Container Ship. Now, not surprisingly, they did block our penalty box one morning.
They also blocked pit exit after racing on Saturday, as well as blocking penalty entrance on Sunday, then accidentally running into the side of the garage when they were reporting for one of their black flags. So, good theme, and they stuck with it, but I'm not really sure about that shark costume.
The I Got Screwed trophy went to, really, these guys got an epic screwing. Punisher GP. While they're starting out by screwing themselves, they brought 2 Porsche 928s. As a guy who has owned a Porsche 928, nobody needs to bring 1. They brought 2. They were towing it with a Porsche tow rig, a Cayenne. On the way to the track, in the fog, somebody ran a red light and T-boned their Cayenne, which was not only their tow rig, but also their ride home. I don't even know how they got to the track. Certainly not driving their 928s. When they did show up at the track, what happened next? Well, I don't know. Some famous professional race driver, clang, totally creamed the back of one of their 928s because he didn't stop in time. Fortunately, nobody was hurt in any of that. They were able to get another trailer out of storage. I don't know. I think they towed it home with straps over their shoulders. Everybody made it home. Randy was very apologetic. They were very nice to him. So he signed their bumper. Everybody was happy? Maybe?
Wasn't quite the excellence that was expected. The Renfrew racing team is local to Pitt and just up the road in Beaver, PA, and this was their actual first race. Their fathers were there, and they also had a Fiat X19. That Fiat blew up 2 laps into the race, to no one's surprise. And after an all-night engine swap, it blew up again 1 lap into the race. Still not surprised. So the fathers went home, but when the kids' Mustangs blew up, they knew there was an abundance of clapped out Mustangs in the paddock, and they were able to get the parts and get theirs back on track, and they came by the penalty box just to let Judge Kurt know about it. There was a bevy of first-time teams at this race, and they all really seemed to get the whole spirit of event, but the judge's choice was a crew of NASA engineers and a Navy member who, despite that kind of brain power, settled on a bone stock 2-liter Jetta. So engine-wise, bone stock 2-liter. Yep. Not expecting to take home any trophies, they brought their own and awarded them to the staff. I got the best BS judge. Org Choice was one of those 2 Mercury Marquis. Now, despite a giant AC box on their roof, they're keeping the electronic adjustable pedals, and it being, well, a Mercury Marquis, they finished in the top third of a 96-car field. Their best lap was 20 seconds off the pace over the weekend, and their average speed was 10 miles an hour slower than the actual winners. Stop trying to go fast.
IOE was not an easy choice at this race. There was actually a lot of awesome stuff. There was like an Omni, there was a Dodge Aspen with mysteriously Volkswagen hubs. But the car that we ultimately chose, it was a driver's machine from the get-go.
Ford, I think, have done such a good job on the Tempo. It's been designed from the wheels up. It handles well, goes round corners well.
Cheesebolt Enterprises really did a terrible job with this one. Eric Rude was all about this car, and he was watching Race Monitor all weekend. He texted all the judges Sunday afternoon and went, "Dude, someone is wheeling that Tempo. They just took 30 seconds off their lap time for the last 30 minutes.
I would point out that doesn't mean somebody is wheeling it. That just means everybody before that wasn't wheeling it. Now, to be fair, Cheesebolt, it's not like they didn't have challenges. So the Tempo, if you drove it too hard, which for a Tempo is just driving it, the ECU would totally crap out. You'd have to like coast back into the pits, shut the whole thing down, let it cool off, and then you could restart. So they were doing this all weekend, and Sunday afternoon, the car came back in, they put a new driver in. They said to the guy, look, this is really simple. You got 4 mismatched tires at this point. Every shock is blown. The ECU will keep crapping out. If you let the car get below 20 miles an hour, it locks up, it freezes, you can't go anymore. Your session is 4 hours, go.
So out of the blue, an hour into this Lemons Virgin stint, Cheesebolt team notices the rookie just bested all their time by 30 seconds. Then he did it over and over. They're shocked, so they call him on the radio. And the new guy says, well, if I cycle the key, the ECU resets and it stays at full power. Cheesebolt says, well, how many times do you have to do this? And he says, every lap. And so he did for 3 hours, every lap, until he took the checkered flag. Absolutely the most with the least, IOE.
All right, I got 2 things. 1, don't do that. Don't let us catch you doing that. Okay, 2, here's Lemons in a nutshell.
Hey, I'm Randy Pobst, and I'm addicted to driving, and I will steal your seat. That's what I do. I come up, I smile, I say, oh yeah, I'm on Motor Trend, and they're gonna let me drive, and you're out of luck, because I gotta feed the habit, man. I need it. I need it.
I believe the children are the future. Let them lead. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Alright, we're gonna try that again.
I'm sorry for the left screwed it up. Happy birthday to you.
He was a helicopter gunner. His ears are terrible. You got louder.
Jesus, made you look.
I think there are, what do they call those? They're like barriers that certain, like covers and trim pieces that are typically put in place to shield the sensitive electronic components. And
Listen here, mother. Don't leave me out to dry like that ever again. I love you.
All right.